Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on our bin that has the pine shavings in it. Now, it's been 8 days since my last update. I left the plastic bags that I had off the top so I could let it dry out a little bit after adding the BTI mix, which I'll link to up above here so you can see what I'm talking about. But I've been adding BTI mix to all of my bins, which is the mosquito dunks, essentially. I have a bucket that's set up to the side, which I have a video on. As I said, I'll link it up top. And I've been adding that to this bin, and it's getting a little bit waterlogged the last time, so I left those bags off the top. It's time to take a look at them again and see if we need to add those back on to keep the moisture in, or if it still needs to stay off. But I'm not seeing any fruit fly issues in my basement, thankfully, which is good. But it's time to take another look and see if we need to make any changes, since it's been just over a week. It might not need food, but I just want to make sure that the worms are taken care of. I don't want them to dry out and die because there's not enough moisture, or if there's or I should say dry out and die from not enough moisture, or there's too much moisture. We need to mix it up a little bit more and get it kind of flowing to the top again, some of that moisture to dry it out. So let's go and take a look. All right, so here's my bin. Today is April 6th. Here's our last update on 3/29. So let's push this down a little bit. I'm going to get this to refocus here into the center. And as you can see, the bin looks like it's depressed quite a bit as far as the moisture content. It's not nearly it's wet in the center, but not on the sides. It looks kind of dried and shrivelly instead of how it was before. So the key is first off, let's just see how it's doing in the middle. I'm not seeing any mites in here at all around the edges, which is a good thing. Still looks like there's plenty of moisture in here, though. I mean, you can see that right here it's still wet looking. So let's just sort of dig this up in the center, actually. Let's start in the center here. And you can kind of see here, it's a little bit drier than it was before. It looks moist, but it looks actually pretty good. So let's just dig this up a little bit more and see. Yeah, I think the moisture content is starting to dry out a little bit. If I squeeze this, I'm not seeing any worms in here, so if I squeeze this, I'm not going to get any water out of it. So it's starting to dry out all throughout. And if I dig down to the bottom here, there's no standing water or anything. If I can get this to stay, no standing water on the bottom. You can see in there, it's just the bottom. So this is starting to dry out a little bit with the lid being off, or the bags being off. But again, the mites are gone. Again, same thing over here. It looks a little bit more moist, but I'm not seeing anything major. The center section was definitely the most moist part, so I'm just going to throw some of this over here. Actually, there's a big piece of shaving right here. I haven't seen anything like that in here before. Let's just dig over here a little bit. I'm just trying to see if I can find any worms. There we go. I found one worm so far. So let's just dig over here a little bit more and see what we can find. I see part of a banana peel. A couple more worms over here. It's all tiny. Yeah, there we go. There's a big worm, but I'm not seeing the numerous numbers we saw before. I thought this was the side I fed on. Maybe I'd switch sides here. Hold on, let's go to the other side. I'm not seeing too much over here, which kind of worries me, because there was at one point quite a few worms in here, and they were doing pretty well. Let's just check over here. Oh, this feels a lot better. Oh, look at that. There we go. So there we go. That is the big pile of worms I was looking for, and that's just looking great. So there's definitely a lot of worms on this side over here in this food. You can see this banana peel right here. That they're really, really digging in here and working on this food. Now, there really isn't that much food left. I mean, there was definitely some carrots in there and some other stuff. I mean, you can see right here, more worms. I mean, they're really looking healthy here. So they're moving in through here. They're taking stuff apart. Let's just peel this banana peel open, actually. I mean, you can really see in here. Look at this. Let's just see. I don't have my other glove on, otherwise I would open it up. But look at this. So you can see that there's a pocket of worms in here. Right over here. You can really, really see in there. Let me just see if I can get this to focus. So you can really see them in there working away at this banana peel. So with that, I'm going to bury that back in over here. We're going to leave that alone. So there are worms in here. I was getting a little worried when I didn't see them over there, and the food wasn't there either. I'm not seeing too much food, but we're going to start. There wasn't much food over there. We're going to add another feeding in the center here. We're going to keep this going. They're really working through this stuff. It is drying out a little bit. I think we will add the cover back on as far as the plastic. But let's just add some more food in here. And I've got, of course, my food off to the side over here. So let me just grab a couple things out of here, if I can. It's all frozen, obviously, which is what I always freeze everything before it goes into my bin. So we've got an apple, piece of apple here, some coffee grounds on there. The rest of the coffee grounds along with the filter. Just crunch those up a little bit. I'm going to grab this banana peel without grabbing everything out of here. They tend to be stuck together pretty well. Alright, hold on. Here's one banana peel. Another apple core. Some orange peels. As I've said, citrus is a go for composting in a worm bin. I have had no issues with this. Just trying to grab, alright, here actually I'll grab some of these then. Here's some leaves from a plant that we had in one of my fish tanks upstairs, or I should say, not fish tank really, but this is a stem from it. This is it's a fish bowl, I should say, that we keep in our kitchen. I'm just trying to grab a little bit more banana in there. We're close here. I think there we go. One more piece. One more end piece. There we go. So there we go. There's our feeding for this week. As I said, it's only been 8 days, so it really has been a very fast turnaround for this. I mean, most of the food that was in there was gone, except for that one banana peel and a little bit of carrot, looked like. Now we're going to cover this up with our crushed crab and eggshell, which again, I will link a video up top on how to do that. And we're going to cover this back up, and I am still going to add some of the BTI on here. So I just, I still don't want to take any chances with fungus gnats. We're going to cover this up really well. I think that this is starting to dry out, so I'm going to add the bags back on too, I think, after this. So there we go. We've got that cover on. Now, while I'm getting the BTI, I just want to mention I'm using a different camera lens this time, and I can hear it clicking away. I don't know how that sounds to you, but let me know what you think of this video and how it looks and everything. This is a camera lens that I've had for a long time, but it's really not meant for video, but it's a really high quality lens. So I thought I'd try it out here on my Canon. Alright, so here we go. We're going to add again. This is going to be adding quite a bit of moisture, but that's okay. I didn't feel it was overly wet. I think that some of it actually was kind of dry. And let's add on our bags again. So I'm going to just take these bags and add them back on here. Actually, I think this one goes over here, like that. This one goes like this. Let's make sure we're covering everything here. And then we've got one more here to cover this area, I think. I think that's how this goes, something like that. Either way, it should be fine. So I'll now take my little tag here, and I will update that to say April 6th after this. But that's my update. Let me know what you think. As I said, I didn't really see any mites on here, so the mites disappeared as this dried out, which I've noticed happens with mites in the past, that when your bins start to dry out, the mites disappear. They like a really moist environment, and this dry bin really wasn't a good fit for them. So there they disappeared. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you have any comments or suggestions also of things you want to see, please let me know as well. And I can always try out some different things. I mean, I've got lots of different food here that I've thrown in my bins before. And, I've tried different things such as citrus and everything too. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you think.